you guys, and welcome back to The Real Not Author. My name is Faith, and I am the author of As Gray as Black and White, which is about a blue-eyed, blonde-haired boy who discovers he is black during segregation. I'm also the author of The Hair Dare, which is about identical twins with unidentical hair who face off over a model search in the 1970s. So both of these books will be linked down below. What I wanted to talk to you guys today is about, as you saw in the caption, the difference between a pantser and a plotter when it comes to writing books. And I'm going to tell you that a pantser is somebody who sits down at the typewriter and just starts writing. They don't really have a plan. They haven't really sat down to decide what the beginning, the middle, and the end should be. They may not know the ending. They might not even have a title for the book. And so that's somebody who just sits down and writes. I admire people like that because I cannot do that. As a project manager by trade, I have got to plan. So I am a planner and not a pantser or a plotter. You can call me a plotter / planner, but I'm not a pantser. And so a pantser is a person who just kind of, I guess that's why they get the term pantser. It's like they fly by the seat of their pants in terms of writing a book. I am a plotter / planner. And what that is first I get an idea. Then I start thinking about the idea and how I can make it work. Is it good enough to actually be novel length? That's important because some things can just be a short story, and we'll talk about that in another video. I also have to know where I'm going. So I have to know the beginning, the middle, and the end of the book. I have to be able to write a query about the book before I even write the book because I need to convince myself that it's worth reading and worth writing. I also structure my books. So I have a couple of timelines, matrices that I use. One of them I'm going to be talking more about, but the matrices that I use are basically to let me know what should happen in the first 10%, what should happen in the next 25%, 50%, all the way down to the end. And I got that from a couple of writer teachers, one of which is K.M. Weiland, and I'll tell you a little bit about her later. But she actually came up with a process. Well, I don't think she came up with a process, but these are things that I printed off from her site that tell me where I should be in each part of my book. And that's what I like about her. It's like a timeline. And so I got that from her, even though I know other people do timelines. I got that from her because I wanted to be able to follow that in order to make my book in the correct structure. So I also do a scene and sequel matrix. So a scene is some action that happens, and then the sequel is how does the protagonist, which is the lead character, react to that particular scene. So it's kind of scene, sequel, scene, sequel. So that's how I write. So the difference between the pantser and the plotter / planner is that we as planners go through a process before we even start writing so that we know where we're going. Now, that's not to say that I don't pants within my parameters, because I do. I don't know every single thing that's going to happen in the book. I know where I want the book to go. I know the kinds of things I want the protagonist to go through. I know what I want her or him to have accomplished at the end of the book. But I don't necessarily know every single scene. And a lot of times my books will start with a scene in my head. I'll have a scene and then I'll start writing around that scene, but I still have to plan it. I cannot just sit there and just type and hope everything goes well. I can't do that. But there are some people who do that. But I need to know where my book is going. I need to know what the point is. I usually come up with a theme first for the book. And I always come up with the title first. I sometimes change my title at the end, but I almost always come up with the title first. So that's basically the way I do it. So as a planner, you're actually taking more time to prepare yourself for writing the book so that you're not like stuck in the middle or stuck for an ending or that kind of thing. And I know some pantsers do get stuck. And I don't want to get stuck because, again, as a project manager by trade, I need to know what's happening. I need to know where I'm going. So usually I come up with an idea first. Then again, I start thinking about where can I go with this idea? Is this idea worth a novel? You know, can I get 60, 70,000 words out of this idea, or is this just a short story? And I don't write short stories, so if the novel idea does not pan out, I usually don't write the book. And so there's a couple of things that I have started that I never finished because they just were not novel worthy in my opinion. So that's basically how I do it, and I will get into specifics about the process as I create other videos so that you can see, because I'm going to tell you specifically how I do the scene and sequel. I'm going to show you the matrix. I'm going to talk specifically about the whole structure, like these things here that I got from Cam Weiland. I'm going to talk specifically about these, but I'm not going to go into as much detail as she does because I'm going to give you a link to her website, and she has a blog too, so that you can get it from her because she's really better at explaining it than I am. But I wanted to just tell you the difference because you may have heard the terms plotter and pantser or planner and pantser and not really know what they are. And so that's the difference between those two, and I just want to share that with you guys. So thank you again so much for watching. I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions about it, put them down in the comments. Please subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe and like this video because I am trying to grow my base. I have 2 other YouTube channels that are wig reviews. One is called Gray Your Way. The other one is Still Looking Good 58. So you will see that I have been on YouTube for a long time, but this is my baby because I am retired and I'm writing again, and I really want to share that journey with you guys. So I'm going to be talking a lot about my own books. I'm going to be talking about other people's books. So I'm going to be doing some book reviews. I'm going to be, again, talking to you about the craft, just like I did today, but in more specifics. I'm going to be talking about things that readers expect and things that writers expect in my experience. And I'm going to basically just tell you about my journey. So if there's any questions that you have along the way, please feel free to send comments. Put comments in the bottom and I will try my best to answer those. So thank you again so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.